Alright everyone, I am here to give you my WWE Monday Night Raw review for November 17th, 2014. Um, and we got Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary, and it kicked off with the Team Authority coming out, which consists of, Joey Noble and Joey Mercury were out there as well, but it also consisted of, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Corporate Kane, the Captain Seth Rollins, Mark Henry, uh, Rusev, and Lana was out there too. Trying to think, Mark. But make sure I don't miss anyone. And I think, and Luke Harper. I think that's it though. Uh, if I missed anyone, you can just let me know in the comments. Um, and the Authority pretty much talk about Cell Survivor Series, pretty much. Talk about how they're gonna destroy Team Cena, um, and how they were talking about how Vince McMahon made that stipulation, and that no one even and they talk about how when Vince was in power, he was that big heel. He was hated, and that's kind of the same case as it is now. And now everyone loves Vince McMahon. And they talked about how they took down WCW. Um, and then Stephanie McMahon goes through each guy and talks about how Seth Rollins is the captain. He was like the architect of the Shield. How Corporate Kane is the twisted monster. I kind of didn't really. I mean, it doesn't really feel that way to me. When she said that, it was like, but now he's like in a tuxedo and he's a fucking joke now. Talks about how the Mark Henry is the world's strongest man. How Rusev's dominant. Pretty much says how everyone's pretty much dominant in the team. And when she got to Luke Harper, he was like, "I'm a team player." So then they call out. I think they mentioned Ryback, and Ryback comes out and says that he's not doing. He's doing what he pretty much saying that he's just on his own team. Because they think that he's going to try to join Team Cena, and to convince them, they played some old footage of when John Cena was insulting Ryback, that terrible shit when Ryback had just turned heel, and Ryback still denied, said he's only on his team and he's gonna remain neutral, and the Triple H was like, that's a wise move, and they pretty much even said too that they're gonna decimate Team Cena, figuratively and literally. So they're gonna start with Dolph Ziggler, and he's gonna have a match with Luke Harper, and that match is next, and we get that match, and then we find out that Dolph Ziggler has to put his Intercontinental Championship on the line against Luke Harper, and before the match starts, Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury jump Dolph Ziggler, and he tries to fight him off, but Seth Rollins, who was also doing commentary, hit him off the skull with the briefcase, and that was good stuff. Um, and Dolph Ziggler wants to have the match anyways, even though he's not medically cleared to have it. And Seth Rollins goes back to do commentary, and it was actually a pretty even match. Luke Harper hits a big boot and a power bomb, and Ziggler kicked out of it. And Ziggler ended up fighting back with the Famouser and the super kick, but it wasn't enough. Eventually, Luke Harper puts him down with the clothesline, and he actually becomes the Intercontinental Champion here. I actually thought Ziggler was going to pull out the victory. I thought Luke Harper had tried to lift him up for another power bomb, and I thought Ziggler was going to counter into a roll-up, but no, it didn't happen. So I actually thought that was good. We have a new IC champion now, and it was actually pretty unexpected. Now, I guess they're really going to start pushing Luke Harper now because he really became really big. He's back in he's in his singles career, and they really want to just push him fast now, which I'm fine with.
Talk a little quiet. Okay.
Okay. And then afterwards, Seth Rollins lays out Ziggler with the curb stomp. And yeah, that was kind of that. They all stood tall afterwards. And then we got the next thing. The Miz was backstage, and they do 2 segments of this. It was that they were gonna suggest that them and Grumpy Cat make like some sort of movie together. Uh, this is a cat that's a big internet sensation, and yet it doesn't really look that way to me. It looks like that the Grumpy Cat is just a grumpy cat. He's just kind of a cat that looks mad. Not really getting the reference here. I thought this would be like someone overall recording, talking like a badass, but that's not the case. So then what happens next? We got Adam Rose versus Tyson Kidd with Natalya ringside, and Adam, the bunny, is being annoying again to Adam Rose. He actually falls into the crowd and goes into the, I guess, the rosebuds, and does the party surf and goes crowd surfing like Adam Rose usually does, and he gets pissed by it, and he makes the bunny stand in the corner so Adam Rose can see him. Eventually, the bunny hits on Natalya, and Tyson Kidd, and it distracts Adam Rose, so then Tyson Kidd gets him in the sharpshooter for the win. I don't know if the bunny, I think the bunny was just trying to use that to maybe distract Tyson Kidd, but it backfired. So, yeah. So then afterwards, Adam Rose tries to attack him again, and then the bunny reverses it and humps him, which was really funny, actually. That was probably the best part about this. And afterwards, he starts going like that. It was really weird. It was very, like, this was like sexual, and this was very un-PG. But I thought it was funny. So then Bray Wyatt comes out to cut a promo. The newest thing about Bray Wyatt now is when he had Eric Rowan and Luke Harper as the Wyatt family, and he came out and he would say, "We're here," and now instead they say, "I'm here." Bray Wyatt just says, "I'm here," and his lantern, I think like steam comes out of his lantern now. I don't know if that was something that happened before, but I noticed it now. And obviously his video thing's different. And he talks about love and how people will choose love over money, but the difference is love can be destroyed. And they talk about how he talks about how dangerous a man is for someone that's never lost anyone they loved, and he referring to Dean Ambrose and how his father abandoned him, and then he talks about his mother, and I think she said that she was always depressed and never took care of Dean Ambrose. So then Dean Ambrose comes on the screen, and he says, "Are you just trying to say all this stuff because you actually want to help me, or is it because you're trying to get inside my head before a match at Survivor Series?" And Dean Ambrose also says that he should, that Bray Wyatt's not such a bad guy. Maybe he should help him. And he also talks about all these magic tricks that Bray Wyatt does, and he says, "I'm going to do a magic trick of my own." And then we find out that the footage that we saw on the screen he had recorded with his friend's cell phone, which was a majorly HD, which obviously wasn't true, and he's actually there in the arena. So then Bray Wyatt looks around for him, and Dean Ambrose attacks him, and Bray Wyatt takes off. And I thought that was some good stuff. I had a feeling Dean Ambrose was going to be there. I thought instead of being recorded, he was going to come out from the locker room instead, but that didn't happen. And I thought that was good stuff. He outsmarted Bray Wyatt for once. Then we got Ryback versus Cesaro, and I thought this was actually an amazing match. Cesaro does 3 German suplexes to Ryback and goes off the top rope and hits an elbow on him, but Ryback kicks out. Ryback gets him over his head and throws him. Ryback goes for the shell shock, and Cesaro counters into 2 uppercuts, and he goes for the neutralizer, but Ryback tries to counter into the shell shock, and then Cesaro tries to roll him up, but Ryback kicks out. Then Ryback hits the meat hook clothesline and the shell shock for the win, and I thought it was good stuff. Good match. They still don't know what they're doing with Cesaro, so I'm pretty pissed about that, but the match was still good. And John Cena gets interviewed, and he was actually watching that match, and he says that the Authority is going to try to take out each member of his team, and there's nothing he can do to stop them. So he is going to, no matter what, he's going to show up at that contract signing, because they were going to have a contract signing too, and beat Team Authority at Survivor Series. So then the next match was Rusev with Lana versus Heath Slater. This was pretty good stuff. Lana talks about what the Americans did when they had that big walk-along thing or something, and they insulted Russia. And she talked about how she's gorgeous, which is true. And she teases that she's going to show a topless picture of herself. She's like, you guys really want to see this? And instead of showing a topless photo of herself, it shows a topless photo of Vladimir Putin. And I knew it was going to be a troll. It was a troll. And then Heath Slater had come out and says that everybody has a little bit of American spirit in him, and he had the American hat on, the American shirt, the American pants, and says that he will that he's the American, and says that he's gonna shut them up, Rusev up, you son of a bitch. They cut out that part though, and then Rusev squashes him, hits a kick to the head and the accolade for the win. So kind of how that went down. And then we got that Damien Mizdow and Miz stuff again. Eric Rowan had come up and he wanted the cat, and they had a stunt double cat of the Grumpy Cat, and he took that. It was really weird. So then the Big Show came out, and he was scheduled to have a match, but Stephanie McMahon came out, and he talked about how he came out as a big deal in his debut, how he helped Vince McMahon take out Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was supposed to be this big giant, but it never really worked out for you. Everyone was always above you, and you always try to do what the fans want. Sometimes you liked the fans, sometimes you hated the fans, and you never really got to be the next big thing. And Big Show says, and she says that Big Show backs out of this Team Cena versus Team Authority match. He backs out of Team Cena's team. She will make Big Show the first ever active wrestler to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, which proves that Stephanie McMahon doesn't know what's going on with the company, because Ric Flair went into the Hall of Fame when he was an active wrestler. I mean, technically he didn't end up retiring the next day, but he was still active wrestler, so I don't know what she's saying, but he refuses. I mean, I would too. I mean, technically I wouldn't be the first active wrestler. And Sheamus comes out and doesn't blame her and says that you can't talk me out of joining Team Cena. And then he says that he wouldn't be surprised if the only time they saw her was with a ticket. And then Stephanie McMahon makes a match between Big Show and Sheamus, and the winner was going to get a future WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. I pretty much saw this coming a mile away, so I wasn't surprised. And we got that match, and it wasn't bad. We've seen it before though, so it wasn't anything new. The only thing that was new really in this match was Big Show doing in that submission hold to Sheamus, but Sheamus hit the electric chair, the Celtic Cross. Big Show hit the choke slam. I think Sheamus had hit the Brogue Kick on him, and then Rusev and Mark Henry came out, and Rusev kicks Sheamus in the head, and Mark Henry, world's strongest, slams him through the announcer's table, and Rusev then puts him in the accolade for Big. Rusev puts Big Show in the accolade for a long ass time. So um, they took out Big Show and Sheamus here. Now I thought it was good stuff. They're making the Team Authority look really strong going into Survivor Series. The only thing I have a problem with though is why are Rusev and Mark Henry working together? I mean, I guess you could say the Authority forced them to work together, but um, Mark Henry hates Rusev. I mean, they just literally fought 2 months ago, um, and he's pro America. He tried to fight for America, so I don't really understand why he's working together with Rusev. Um, then we find out some stuff that's gonna happen at the Survivor Series kickoff. We're gonna get the return of Fandango. He's gonna have a match, and he's gonna now Rosa Mendez is his new dancer. Um, that should be, I guess, okay. I don't really care about Fandango anymore. They've pretty much blown their chances with him. Um, and Bad News Barrett's gonna return, and he says he has some bad news. Um, not sure what to expect there. And Paul Heyman's gonna be on the panel, I guess, scouting. He's gonna be on the panel, which I think is fine. And then we get Brie Bella, and she was kind of posing as AJ Lee in this match. She came out with her music and her, I guess, win attire, which just consists of shorts and whatever T-shirt she wants to wear that day. The funny thing was, Brie Bella was actually wearing AJ Lee's T-shirt. Well, like she was wearing like the same T-shirt, but AJ Lee always changes it up, and Brie Bella, but I don't know. And she went against Nikki Bella. I gotta say though, when she came out, I thought Brie Bella was AJ Lee, and I thought it was Nikki Bella. I thought they were gonna do like a thing where Nikki Bella was pretending to be AJ Lee, but no. And this was like an exhibition, so pretty much, uh, since Nikki Bella's assistant, um, Nikki Bella has to Brie Bella has to pretty much get her ass kicked, and AJ Lee, who was doing commentary, interferes and distracts Nikki Bella, so Brie Bella rolls her up for the win. So technically, I guess they're 1-1 apiece in their matches now. Then afterwards, uh, Nikki Bella attacks Brie, and then AJ Lee hits the Shining Wizard on her, and AJ hits the DDT on Brie Bella afterwards. I guess because she had attacked her and set her up. And AJ Lee says that she doesn't like friends, so yeah. Um, this was probably, I actually did enjoy this. I actually got into this. I mean, Brie Bella technically didn't do what she said though, so she should technically have to quit, but she just took advantage of her opportunity. I guess she's not going to have to quit. So now, Big E since. I don't, they had Xavier Woods. Now then it was 2 weeks ago, Kofi Kingston last week, and they showed it again this week. And now Big E does the same thing. His was just awful. Big E can't cut promos, so this is why it's awful. But pretty soon they're gonna show the group between Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E, and something tells me they're gonna be face, and I don't think they should be face. I think they should be heel, but hopefully they swerve us and make them heels. I wouldn't complain if they actually interfered in the Team Authority Team Cena match and helped the Authority win. But then Cena would bury him. And yeah, what was it? Oh, I was also gonna say I want to see them probably next week. They're gonna all do one together. So and then they'll probably debut the next week. So in a couple weeks. So then Ryback's backstage, and John Cena comes up to him and asks him to join his team. And Ryback says, "I'm just Team Ryback, and I don't take jokes from John Cena." And John Cena says that he did make those jokes, but then Ryback proved himself that he earned his respect by when they beat the crap out of each other in the ring. And he says that the Authority are just playing you. They're trying to manipulate you to not join my team. Ryback says, I know what they're doing. Don't think I'm that stupid, but I'm only Team Ryback. And he says that he's just being selfish because he always comes in and says, feed me more. Now you have a chance to get a big meal at the dinner table, and you're not taking it. So I thought actually that was some good stuff. And then we get the final match of the show. We get Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, versus the Los Matadors, Diego and Fernando, with El Torito ringside, versus Gold and Stardust, The Miz and Damian Mizdow. We find out that there's going to be a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match with Gold and Stardust defending the WWE Tag Team titles against The Miz and Damian Mizdow, Los Matadors, and the Usos, which I'm fine with. I did predict this would happen. And this match actually I thought was entertaining because of Damian Mizdow. I get entertained anytime Damian Mizdow is out there. And he never got tagged in really. He really didn't get tagged in. And the crowd really wanted him in, and they would tease that they were going to tag him in, and then Stardust would like tag himself in, like Goldust went to tag him in, but Stardust tagged himself in instead. And I thought that was good stuff. And then Miz finally tagged him in, and then he goes in, and Miz just tagged himself back. And so I thought that was good stuff. But then eventually Stardust beats one of the Usos accidentally kicks one of the Lost Matador members, and Stardust hits his finisher. I think it was called Dark Magic for the win, and I thought that was some good shit. And it's just not. I just thought it was good. It helped build up the match. So then we get Team Authority and Team Cena, and we have that contract signing. And Triple H is talking like trying to hype the match up, but then he stops and he says that this match is their lives. You guys think John Cena, and you guys think that the WWE is your life, but each and every one of your molecules is like the WWE being my life. And Triple H says that we can't lose this Sunday, and we won't lose. And then Team Authority calls out John Cena, and he comes out and says that you've taken out my team. I know what you're doing. You're trying to make people scared to join my team, and you're trying to take my team out. So then John Cena says that I could just grab teams easily. I could just grab people from the crowd. So he points out some people from the crowd, and he says that the difference between my team and your team is my team has pride about the WWE, and your team is just a bunch of sellouts. And then he kind of sells people on why they should get this match. Say that WWE Network's for free, which they utilize all night. And he talked about how John Cena said that Corporate Kane, he used to be the Big Red Machine. He was the Undertaker's brother, and who got his powers from the urn, and now you're just a corporate sellout. And then he talks about Rusev, and says that he's gonna take him out, and there's gonna be red eyes. And then he says that he'll take out Luke Harper, who lives in a swamp, and when he loses, he'll swamp his pants. And then he makes a sexual joke saying that happens to you all the time, Stephanie. And Triple H was just kind of laughing, being cocky about it, because it was only John Cena out there. And then what happens next is he says that he's gonna feed Mark Henry sexual chocolate, and then he says I will just leave Seth Rollins, and he's gonna adjust his attitude. And I thought it was actually some pretty funny stuff. And then he says that after all you've done to get to the top, you've kicked some people down, and like 3 seconds is gonna feel like 3 years when you finally realize you're out of a job, and you won't be in power anymore, and you're gonna be cleaning toilets. And then afterwards, he goes to talk to Stephanie McMahon, and she slaps him. And then Cena prepares. He's gonna says let's go time. So then he's about to fight all the members of the Authority, but then and you think it's all doomed for Cena, but then Dolph Ziggler comes out, and then the Big Show comes out, and it's down to 3 on I guess 5 really. You also have Noble and Mercury. And I forgot to mention too that Sheamus is a no-go for this match. He got taken out after what happened. He's got taken to the hospital. I don't. That's obviously a work. I don't know why they took him off Survivor Series, but they did. And instead, we don't know who's gonna come out. And Eric Rowan comes out, which I thought was actually really surprising. Um, I mean, it was like a big surprise. I wasn't expecting Eric Rowan, so I guess he's a face now, and I can see him and Luke Harper feuding over the Intercontinental Championship after this. Um, and it was a nice surprise, and it's better than what I think they were gonna do with him. I wonder if that's why they took Sheamus out to have this, but I don't know. Um, and then everyone's chanting for Ryback, and Stephanie was like, even says, gets on the mic and says that was a nice surprise, but what surprises do you have? And then Cesaro's music hits, and this was some good shit. I actually thought Cesaro turned face, and he said, and he's acting like he's with Team Cena, but then he joins Team Authority side, and it was all a big swerve. And he's just like, okay, who else is gonna come out? They're all cocky about it, and then Ryback comes out and joins Team Cena, and Team Cena fights off Team Authority, and Triple H attacks Cena when he's about to hit the A and Seth Rollins. Then Triple H, Ryback gets in the ring, and Triple H has a stare down with Ryback. And afterwards, Cena AA's Triple H through the table. And that was the end of the show. And I thought it was an awesome show. The contract signing definitely was the highlight of the show, I think. But we had some good matches. I like the Ziggler Luke Harper match. I think they're gonna have a better match in the future when Dolph Ziggler's 100% obviously. And I like the 8-man tag team match with Damian Mizdow, The Miz, and all of them. And what else did I like? I liked the Brie Bella, Nikki Bella skits. I didn't really like Grumpy Cat though, and I liked the Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose stuff. The Ryback Cesaro match. Actually, that was the match of the night for me. Was Ryback versus Cesaro. And I'm glad Tyson Kidd 2 is on the roll too. He's actually starting to be featured at least on the show. At first I didn't like it because it was just because of Total Divas, but they've forgotten about all that, and he's actually went in. He actually had a pretty kick-ass match with Ziggler on SmackDown, and I thought that was some good stuff. And yeah, that was the entire show. And I really like this show. And now we know what's going to happen at Survivor Series, though. Now we have Team Cena and Team Authority. Now we have all members of Team Cena. And I'll talk about that when I do my Survivor Series predictions. And that's pretty much it for my review of Monday Night Raw. If you want to leave your thoughts about what you thought of Raw in the comments, I'd be down with that so we can talk about it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I would like you to subscribe to this channel. I can't forget that. Wrestling Fortune 44. And subscribe to all the other stuff. I'm not really going to go into detail on what else, but it's all down in the description box. But subscribe to all that stuff, and I'll be back some point in time this week to make a video. I don't know when though.